It's up to you guys. I hate to screw something up just because somebody got the wrong name on there. I don't care one way or another.
I don't either.
I would sign, if Jeff Weber's on the other signature, I would sign Jeff Weber.
That's what I think that would be
We'll do
easy.
that.
You don't mind.
This is, the first document I brought before you guys a couple of weeks ago was the intergovernmental agreement that says that you agree to participate along with Metropolis, Joppa, Brookport, in pursuing the application for an enterprise zone. It gave the definitions and kind of rules of conduct, what's to be expected, between all parties once the zone is in place. This is the actual ordinance that says, we agree to everything that we've done so far, we're gonna submit the application, we're gonna agree to all the incentives that have been put out there, which is essentially the abatement of taxes and all the other incentives that we do offer, which is the building material exemption, waiver, permit fees, things like that. I wouldn't believe there'd be anything in here that would surprise you or anything like that. I've got Joppa's meeting tonight, Metropolis next week, Brookport next Tuesday night, and I've got a couple of other resolutions for abatement that I gotta get signed, but we are full steam ahead to get this dropped off to DCEO hand delivered before the end of this year, which puts us in, qualifies us for consideration for a brand new enterprise zone starting January 1st, 2016. So we're still operating under the old zone. We held our public hearing, just for you guys to know, on November 19th.
How many people showed up?
To Virgil Thomas, who owns property down here by the
Yep.
train bridge, showed
No
up.
word.
But I think Virgil had confused it maybe with some other, maybe he thought it was a zoning or some sort of other development code type hearing. I don't know if he was clear on what the enterprise zone was, and so we listened to what he had to say, and we kind of redirected him a little bit as to what we were actually there for. Julian gave his pretty much official speech as what he had to say at the meeting. Larry Call was there from Brookport and said that Brookport supports it, and we had some conversations about the incentives and what we might be able to offer Brookport in the future regarding maybe a residential incentive that we didn't think at the time a residential incentive, adding it to the application, would benefit any of the people a year after, on the tornado, so one wasn't included. We kept the application pretty much the same as the original zone for simplicity's sake, to say, here you go, we're giving you everything we've already got, you've already given us one, let's go forward with it. So, 2 people were there, it lasted about 40 minutes, and it was pretty much just, a formality. We were hoping maybe more people would show up, or we ran the article a couple of times in the paper saying that we would meet, but we're gonna try, make sure everybody knows,
Right.
that this is a great thing. It's easy to get, it's easy to apply for. I met with Joppa School Board.
We met with Massac last week.
Massac Unit 1 signed their 5-year abatement, which is good, because that's the big one. That's usually, that saves everybody, a lot of people money, but that's a big item there. Village of Joppa, I say Village of Joppa, Joppa Maple Grove School District has not signed theirs yet. I guess they'd had some things with Lafarge being reassessed, and they lost some revenue for their school district. They're hoping to get it back, and they just weren't real sure if they could afford to issue offer an abatement. But they tabled it to their meeting on the 15th, and they're gonna look at it. Shawnee College, I think, talking to them, Dr. Bellamy talked to Rick. Shawnee College, I think, they signed off on theirs. I'm just waiting to receive the hard copy from it.
Do you talk to the hospital too? Or?
Got hospital's copy, they signed, got theirs. And the Fire Protection District, great group of guys to meet with on Monday night out there. They weren't really clear on what it was, so they tabled it, but I think they'll sign. Mike Chiller said that they'd be willing to go along with it. Oh, and I explained to a lot of them, there probably hasn't been a lot of commercial or industrial projects built just in Massac County. So a lot of these, property, or a lot of these taxes probably have never been.
To them anyhow.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have had it been in the district.
Yeah, they probably have never been abated for the most part, but we're just dotting all the i's and crossing the t's to make sure we have these resolutions that afford us the ability to abate these taxes when someone does a project. So, other than that, that's about it. Everybody likes the map and everything's looking good. I will remind you that there will be what's called a designated zone organization, which will be a part of this new zone. It's a 5-person committee which serves as advisory to the zone administrator, which currently is me. Each applicant will select one person. Their requirement simply has to be the fact that they live in the enterprise zone. So not just in Massac County, they have
But
to
in the
actually
zone.
live in the zone, yeah. Read the intergovernmental agreement on those rules and stuff like that. And then those 4 applicants, select 4 people. They'll pick a 5th, you know, and we'll meet quarterly and discuss zone topics, incentives and things like that. It could be any one of you guys, or maybe a business owner or something like that, you know, it's,
He's the only one in the zone, isn't he? Or did your house fall on the map? But anyhow,
we'll look at it,
Yeah.
we'll take a look at it. But like I said,
I
it's,
don't-
it gives everybody just a little bit more vested interest in it, and we think they've added it this time around, and I think it's a good idea, because it's tough kind of being out there just by yourself.
Who, do you appoint the people, or does the mayor, or?
I wanna say that that
each entity,
each entity is responsible for their own person.
Okay.
So the mayor, city of Metropolis will appoint somebody, Brookport, Village Joppa, and the board, county board would pick
Okay.
somebody. I'd have to take a look and see
I think
in the
that's right.
intergovernmental agreement what it says, but I think that's right. And they serve terms, and you get reappointed every so often. It's a 2-year, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, then they alternate however it works out. So it's, should be pretty neat. So, and we'll meet, we'll do things, and hopefully get this out there to people, and they can take advantage of it. You know, it's, the building material exemption thing is really the no-brainer. It's like, wow, you know, just, if you're gonna buy a bunch of lumber, or a bunch of wood, or, you know, to build something, just come get it and not pay, you know, not pay your tax on it. I mean, that's a great incentive right there. And it's something you get from the state. State's got, seldom does the state ever give you anything, so it's a good thing to have. But, I appreciate signing that. I think I have to get it
we
attested.
probably need a motion, don't we, on the minutes?
Yeah. What's the title of it, or, I'll make a motion.
An ordinance establishing an enterprise zone in the city of Metropolis, Village of Joppa, city of Brookport, and Massac County.
I need a motion for that.
They need your customer number on the computer, whatever that means.
Are y'all on eBay again?
Oh, yeah.
What are you buying?
Customer number.
I don't know what she meant. She said, do you know your customer number on, and she was over there on your thing. I said, no, but I can ask her.
All
You
I
need to
have
go
is,
there.
all I have is a username and password.
Well, if that's what she means, I don't know. You may have to go there and tell her. She's
I
trying to
can
get into
take the
something.
notes if you need to do that.
Okay. I'll be right back.
A motion on the table for that, can I?
I thought you'd already done that.
Yes.
Well, will
That's
this
fine.
be something we sign every year?
No, actually, once this is new zone, optimistically talking.
Yeah,
New zone is in place January 1st, 2016. The old zone, our current zone, it goes away. All incentives offered by the current zone go away. So that's gonna be kind of interesting. New zone goes into place for 15 years. And if we document it, do everything that DCEO asks of us to keep track of the numbers, people report, some pretty basic stuff, you know, we get an automatic extension for another 10 years. So quite possibly 25 years, again, you'll have to meet here, you three, in 25 years from now. It'll be someone else's, yeah.
Yeah.
To be signing off, so. Unless we make some sort of amendment, if we add territory or remove territory or make some sort of changes, then the parties involved will have to sign an ordinance that makes a change to that. So if we take away an incentive or add an incentive, if we add a residential incentive later on, then we'll have to adopt an ordinance that approves that for our enterprise zone. We'll have to send it off to the state and have them add it to the zone. So unless we make some change to it, no,
Yeah,
which we
we're good.
would, but we won't ever have to.
Well,
just make
Did.
it,
It was on the minutes, she was
it'll
taking.
be all right. And she's got do you wanna ask Patrick about that since I already signed it?
Yeah, see, he had came a week or two ago.
Yeah.
And had, Jeff was the chairman. So we just went ahead and had Jeff to sign it today, even though we reorganized this morning.
Okay,
That'd be all right.
Is that okay?
I don't have a problem with that. I mean, it's,
We're all in agreement anyhow.
Yeah.
could be done either way, it doesn't
Okay.
matter.
All right.
I don't think it'd be too problematic.
All right.
because it was approved in his term as chairman.
Okay.
This is your first signature, isn't it? So
Yeah,
get a
it
picture,
is.
Jason, get your phone. Heck, no.
You put that on
She's
Facebook.
attesting.
Does the date not need to be filled in?
Or do you-
Please.
Okay.
I can, but if you want to, please.
Good morning, Michelle.
Awful quiet over
Jason, your ink pen's got on it.
there. That's Chad,
Okay.
or somebody.
It's
don't know.
mine, I'm
That's,
on a
is that all,
budget.
is that the only place?
I think so.
I think that's it. Is there a seal that you have to put on with that, or is there?
Uh,
a seal?
John usually stamps, don't he,
Or
or something?
I can come back this afternoon, pick it up if you
I
want.
can run over there and do that.
Okay.
I made the motion on that, who seconded it, make sure she has that right.
Yeah, I say.
Okay. All agree, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Make sure we have that.
Bob's been in contact with that department again, and we've also looked at the possibility of some other expenditures that may fall under the grant. I'm attempting to get approval of those before we submit our response, which is due next week. Now, as it stands right now, they claim that we must return $4,860.53. I have examined some of the expenditures during the time frame of the grant that may have been included in the grant, and that may, those expenditures are approximately $3,409.28. I've attempted to contact our grant monitor to get his essentially approval before we submit that, and if there's any other paperwork we need to submit. The other parts related to documentation and paperwork have all been completed, and we'll be submitting those in plenty of time for our due date, which is December 10th. The issue I have is our next meeting will be, of course, next week, and that'll be a day before our response on the payback is due. And I would advise not responding on that until we know what their opinion is on this additional $3,400, whether we can count that or not. So one of the reasons I want to come before you is to get your input on how, or decision rather, on how we should go forward. I want to authorize the county board chairman to make that decision, and you can give him the approval to do that, to make the decision on how much should be returned. Or if you want to wait till next Tuesday, do a formal vote, and then we'll just have to get it up there next day, mail, and hopefully makes it in time.
Patrick, that Kathy Rudolph, was she not the grant manager?
She was, but now when she's done, it goes to the monitoring unit once the grant is essentially beyond its time frame. And that's where we're at now, is dealing with a gentleman by the name of Anthony Thomas, who's a grant monitor.
Yeah.
If you speak to Anthony and you just explain to him we meet on Tuesday, that we'll probably have it to him by that Friday, would that be an issue, you think?
I don't know, we've already got one extension.
Oh, okay.
It was previously due on November 19th, and we were able to get an extension to December 10th. So I asked for another extension.
Well, I mean, I would just like for everyone to have input next Tuesday on it, and, you know.
What's the big deal about wanting that money back? They gave it to us.
Well, they have to account for how it was spent. We have to account for how it was spent, and there was,
Well, you know, well, I guess the time limit's up, but we're not done with the bathroom.
that's right. And I explained that, and
Time limit's up.
they're concerned about the date. It was, which I think was December 31st, I believe, or 13th.
Or, you know, if we make the decision on Tuesday, we could FedEx it overnight, they could have it on Wednesday,
Right.
you know, if we chose to. Would y'all want to wait till next Tuesday?
It's up to you.
I'm good with waiting, something may come up.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay, so I'll be back next Tuesday to let you know what I've heard and
go from there.
see what we can use and can't use. It may have to be, the most it's gonna be is $4,800, maybe as little as
1,400.
okay.
Is this, this house, is that the one that was always, between the county or 911? Is this like, well, if you read that, where I've marked that X, is the lease with us?
I don't know, because I don't know that I've seen
I
the
was,
lease.
yeah, cause I was just reading that paragraph there, and it says that they will have the key, the house cleaned, the keys returned, and everything returned to the county board. Let us know that they're moving out.
I do know, and outside of this letter, I spoke with Miss Eads, and she informed me that she'd also contacted 911, their board. So perhaps their board or Keith Davis had suggested that she contact us. I don't know.
Okay.
But it does seem to suggest you to return the keys to the county board. Might be a good idea to check with
Keith.
Keith and see what he thinks.
Well, he had sent an email out, a few days ago. I guess he had got the letter, because they was looking, trying to decide on what to do with the building. I think they was just going to, turn the utilities, the heat down, over winter. Won't be nobody in.
Right.
Okay.
Anything else happening?
Not much.
Got court today?
Yes, maybe that's where I'm headed next. All right.
Thank you
If need
very
anything, let
much.
me know.
Thanks, Patrick.
Can you read over that sometime when you?
Mailbox yesterday.
I have not.
It's yours, not mine.
You was involved in that, wasn't you? Didn't you give them guys a tour?
Yeah. Yeah. What is this?
Short week last week, nothing got paid.
That details every place it was found.
Okay. Well, I guess that you're the custodian one. They put in there.
I'm giving it to you.
This is bookkeeper right here. Okay. Patrick was kinda on top of that also. He was when
Yeah,
He kinda
that's the
took
next
over.
person I was gonna think of. I wonder if he's got a copy of that or needs one. If you talk to him about that.
I'll see if he wants it.
That showed up yesterday late afternoon.
Okay. I don't know if he's got one. He may have one. I got a couple of these books after the fact, so he may have one. I'll find out.
Pretty well details where it's at and how much it is.
Yeah, they wanted that guy that come around. He requested that, I
The
believe.
name we won't mention.
I don't even know what they, I have heard it.
Talked to our adjuster yesterday on our car, and they still haven't made a decision what they're gonna do with it yet. They're gonna fix it or total it.
Is it still in Sally Port?
Yeah, we gotta keep it inside, because it's full of water if it was sitting outside.
Oh, okay.
Trunks, so been up on it, but hopefully this week they'll,
Where's it at?
inside the building over here.
Sally Port is what they call it.
Drive
It's like
over.
a contained area where they can bring a prisoner
Oh,
in, and, yeah, I'm like,
You need to come over.
I've been through there.
yeah.
I mean, on a tour.
Yeah, we know when you in it.
Heard your name mentioned the other day.
I wasn't gonna bring it up.
Did you get pulled over again?
Yes.
Drive within the law.
A day or two ago, I thought, well, they're all having a good laugh today.
What, DUI or what?
No. He said I was going a little fast. I said, well, I'm headed to work. I don't know. Perhaps I wasn't paying attention.
Take care of the west part of the county out there.
Hey, you doing good.
We need money.
You know, he was zipping. No, I was zipping down through there. And I thought, looks like one of our guys sitting up there at that old Merrimack grain. And he pulled out and it was. So he wanted to talk to me for something. So we had a little visit.
Was there any paperwork involved?
Well, no, I seen him. He just,
You all right?
he told me I need to slow down a little bit. I said, well, I probably do.
I got pulled over in Brookport a few weeks ago.
Did you?
Heard about that too.
And
Early thing he was.
I'm good, man.
Gerald's a semi-man.
And I did get some
Press
paperwork.
up now, Gerald.
That's two in the last year or two, isn't it?
Brookport's rough on me. I watched it through that.
You get a lot of relative stuff up there.
I don't know.
Was one of them new cops?
I guess, I don't know what his name was.
I put my cruise control with like a.
Yeah. So. It was my fault, so. Can't blame.
Shouldn't have been speeding, should you?
Ted, who was that lost the pallets? in
What
front
they
of
said that was
Peyton.
Sterling, Bailey, I
Oh,
thought.
really?
The,
You going
someone
down
cheated?
or what?
No, I fell off the back of the truck.
Oh, man.
One of Clinton's daughters.
Yeah, Peyton run into the back, run into one of them or something, I don't know.
No, they ran into
It
her,
ran
it
into
fell off
Dave.
Oh, that what
the, it fell
happened?
off the back of the truck and hit her car.
She
Just down
okay?
the side. Yeah, it
Okay,
didn't
so it
hit her.
didn't like come in a
No, it didn't
cab
come in
or
with
nothing.
her, but it went down the side of her door,
Wow, that's scary.
yeah.
Hey, have you heard anything about the background check on that alcohol liquor license?
We ran both people that you gave me and there was nothing.
So, I think we should be good, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Well, if it's the same license, it doesn't exist. You need to check, see what they want to do up there. They had it down as a club, and, I don't think there's a club.
You know, I mean, I can't remember if I gave that to Patrick or if I kept it. But there is no such thing as a club
I
license.
don't,
Yeah, I still-
out in existence now, I think they did have on the paperwork a club license, but I don't think that's what they had. And there's no opening on Sunday, and that's what they were doing.
Yeah. There's what I wrote down to check on.
How's JD, you feeling better?
Yeah. Still just a little bit sore, but
So what would he drive in the meantime?
one of the cars that we got the last time we went over there,
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna go to
That's
Deputy
good.
Aston when he comes back, so he's just gonna drive it for right now.
Okay. Those cars we recently got doing good.
I don't know that girl, did you know her?
I don't know her either. Have you ever heard of her, Sheriff?
Run to somebody, wasn't it?
Brantley?
Yeah.
Okay. He said she'd been running the place for him in the past.
Does it go over, back up, are we back on track with it? What's taking so long there?
I don't know, you know, they initially told us 2 weeks, now it's into the, like, this is the fourth week.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's been about a month.
And we still ain't got the concrete poured yet.
As far as I know, the holes that look to be driving by there, looks like it's 15, 20 foot deep holes still. They haven't set no tanks that I've seen.
Tanks are in there.
Are they in the hole?
And they're starting to put the pumps in the ground, but,
Where are you getting gas now?
either Casey's, Huck's, or the Shell station out there on the hill
So how are you just using that cash fund?
right now. We got enough to last probably another couple of weeks, but what benefited us is mostly has been on vacation the last 2 or 3 weeks, so we're really not using that much.
Just reading in Southern Illinois the other day, the sheriff that retired in Johnson County had a big story on Sunday's, I guess it was Sunday's paper, it was a good article.
Telling stories.
Oh, yeah, he told a lot of stories, had a lot of pictures of him, like when he first started. At times.
He had to be pretty young, didn't he?
I think he said he was 26 when he started.
Yeah, but he
10?
dropped out for 8 years, didn't he, or he get beat or something, or?
He worked for the,
I think he had 10 consecutive terms, is what the
Was it?
news on TV said.
he was a city policeman for a while, then a deputy sheriff, and he ran for sheriff, so.
Okay.
I thought it said in there, he started when he was 26, and then at 32, he ran for sheriff and got it. So it put him like 72.
72.
I don't know if that's right. So,
He's a
I
super
remember
nice
he
guy.
is.
yeah.
Yeah, everybody liked him up there.
We got,
Okay.
thanks, Joe.
Thank you, take care.
How many people's in your hotel?
Full.
Full?
No,
No vacancies?
I dropped
They left the light on
I
and
dropped
it
2
fits on the
notice to
pillows.
quits off over there last week. I don't know if y'all ever
No,
served
Crystal
them.
Mad Rocks.
Oh, that's what it is.
I'll check with Miss Howe, she ended
Thank
up,
you, Dana.
I'll check with her.
So I said, I hope we got money, cause she's sitting over there paying bills.
Okay, and they
Rick.
should all start coming in again.
We got half a million,
Oh,
half a million?
okay.
Close.
Hey, bud.
Only for a couple hours. If Ted has anything to say about that.
Yeah, check back this afternoon.
Yeah,
You'll see
did
her
you
for
sign
me.
it? Huh?
You'll see her for me.
I will. She's in business?
Yeah, she's in.
Okay. You wanna see our list of giveaways?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's always interesting to see how many of them have been in jail.
I know protection's over with, but
I
you're
knew
gonna have
that
to-
was what you were gonna say.
You're gonna
I
have to do a little
knew.
better job
I
than that.
know. Well,
I mean, right, a few weeks
that
before the election,
$73,000
she was just tearing it up.
put a big dent in it, didn't it?
What now?
That 73,000, we
Yeah.
still got another one to pay, so.
I thought we already paid both of them.
We turned in the claims for
Oh,
both
okay.
of them, but when the balance started getting down, we thought we better
Oh, okay.
wait till the fees start coming in
That's
for
probably a good idea.
this month, so.
Alright, so we're halfway there. It sure is expensive, that probation.
It is.
Mm.
That's all the news I have.
Tell
I've
us,
seen it worse.
yeah, not too long ago,
No, it was too terribly long ago.
within 8
A
months,
year.
yeah.
Mhm, yeah. I think this year's been pretty good. It's the year before.
Jason, you see this?
He signed it,
I've already signed
Oh,
it.
yeah,
he's a man.
okay.
He gave $4,600 away this morning.
Cash dollars at work, man.
Uh, You know, I was just been reading about, the new Republican governor. You think any of the tax codes are gonna change for the counties, and are you all,
I hadn't read it, and I haven't heard of anything
okay, I didn't know.
from anybody yet.
This is, that might be some of the things they're looking at.
About
City,
minimum
uh,
wage and something was all I heard.
When did he took over at first year, when,
I don't know when that,
first of
I honestly
December?
don't know.
I don't either.
I don't
I
know.
thought that
I don't know if
was
it's
first
the
of
end.
That's all
January.
they
I was
spend a
thinking
lot
it
of
was
money on
January,
something.
They were January.
Well, the president gets sworn in, what, the
The
20th of
20th,
January? I bet a governor's probably the same, surely, isn't it?
I don't know.
Or is it the
I don't know.
first?
I think every state's probably different.
What was you gonna say, Gerald? Did you read something? about
Yeah,
that?
they spend a lot of money on something, I can't remember. I couldn't really figure Quinn done that unless he,
Was it on the sidewalks?
Yeah, he had a grant for some sidewalks.
maybe,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I seen where Marion and Carbondale was getting some money about.
That's what it was.
Metropolis was.
I believe that's right.
Thank you, Diana.
You are welcome.
Have a good.
You too?
I'm ready
Oh,
for it.
he's got a stack, he does have a stack of crap needs to
Well,
sign this week.
I addressed all this stuff to Jeff. but
Well, that's
okay.
It don't matter.
That's fine. It don't matter.
Yeah, I've got a list of things, that we usually normally take care of here at the beginning of December for next year.
All right.
And, that's what I'm going to submit to you all this morning. First being a copy of our proposed budget. I don't know that you ever want to do or look over it or whatever, but
I'll let Gerald look over it. He's our budget master. We'll go from there.
okay. Then I've got a series of resolutions that we have to pass and get these papers signed to submit to IDOT for this upcoming year. First being, to re-explain it, it's normally we transfer, up to 30% of the county motor fuel tax money to the county unit motor fuel tax, because there's so many more county unit roads to take care of. It's just a way to get some more money into that fund to be able to take care of those roads. Because our county highways are taken care of through county motor fuel tax plus the federal funds and everything we get. So, I don't know how many years we've been doing this, but it's a normal thing. We can transfer up to 30%, so we're
Thank you.
proposing to, excuse me, to pass a resolution to transfer $90,000 in 2015 from county motor fuel to county unit motor fuel. That's a copy of the resolution. I've got basically 4 copies. You just have to, if you agree with it, pass it, and then Juanita have to sign it and seal it.
Let everyone have a chance to look at it first.
Okay.
Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
It's pretty good.
Good. Did you go stay around here or go visit your family?
Everybody come here, we
Oh, yeah.
hosted it at our house.
You wanna read through that or not? We sign this every year, don't we?
Yeah,
That's
it's
at least a
formality, we just do it.
couple I've seen.
Joe, on this one here,
Insurance, I'm sorry, guy, Jeremy said he's been trying to call you today.
Call me?
Yeah, it says, try to call Jeff this morning, no answer, no voicemail set up. Look at being at the meeting next week with renewal. You just wanna tell him. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
He's probably calling our own phone number.
All right.
He's got this number, I think.
I don't know. I was just gonna say that you didn't want to talk to him.
That's fair enough too.
Gerald,
yes,
whenever you get done, if you wouldn't mind finding, I've got something for you to sign.
Okay. okay.
Okay, hey, while you're here,
Sure.
this is concerning the liquor license.
Okay.
They come back clean. We was gonna request a copy of their lease,
Right.
and if she has some papers filed over here as doing business as,
Correct.
does she need that, or what?
Well, if she's saying that she's doing business as a sole proprietorship, she should have
Okay,
filed with the county.
all right, and we was gonna ask for a copy of their insurance.
Correct.
I was gonna text them, and who's gonna write them a letter? You all gonna do
Yeah,
that?
we'll
Yeah,
write
Okay.
a letter.
What, are you gonna ask for proof of insurance or a copy of their policy, or however how do you want me to word that in the, he was wanting me to
If we
respond
could
to
get a
him.
copy of the policy.
Okay.
we could leave it at that.
Is there anything else that you can think of?
You may, the only other thing would be to, if you wanted to come in and talk to the board before you approve it.
That's up to y'all.
If, as long as everything checked out, I'm fine with that.
Okay, I'm fine with that too.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Do we need a motion to,
Yeah.
that's a budget.
Oh, that's the budget.
Yeah.
On this, the budget, you don't, everything, like I said, we just basically just looked through it, it's pretty much, I don't think there's any changes we've ever made in the past to it.
Yeah, I don't, last year you did not, so
And we'll just put this in with our budget, and then when we pass our budget, this here will be passed at that time.
okay. Okay.
Will be good enough? This is our copy.
That's your copy. Gerald, do you have a question about the budget, or?
No,
Okay.
I'm good.
Jeremy, put him on the agenda for next week, 10 or 10:30, does it matter to you guys?
No,
Okay, I'll tell him
I need to
10 o'clock.
talk to him anyway.
All right, 10 o'clock, Juanita, next week. I'll put that on. Been having foot problems again, Jeremy?
No,
No, okay.
in May, I stepped on a piece of glass,
Yeah,
and, I went to one Ready Care. And she said, it was still in there, of course.
mhm,
Can't nothing about it, so I went to urgent care, which is over by, the college on 62,
mhm.
off to the right there. And this, nurse practitioner took it right out, wasn't there 30 minutes. And, I think the bill was $400-something. Well, the girl over at Ready Care said, well, there'll be no charge here. Well, they charged me over $100 after they told me there wouldn't be any charge. But that's fine. But they want more information. The insurance company won't pay the bill. Now, there's a big argument about is Medicare primary or secondary. Neither one wants to pay it now because they don't know who's primary or secondary.
You know, she needs some of that Obamacare.
I guess I do.
They just flat out pay.
That's what I need. I need them. So I've got to get that straightened out, or I'm not paid.
Will Jeremy be here next week? So-
Yeah.
Should I warn
There
him
we go.
that You have issues?
Huh?
Should I text them, tell them that you have some issues?
Yeah.
Now, here's the deal, I
Tell
don't wanna
them
see
that.
your foot up on this table. I'm just gonna put that out there before this happens. Juanita don't want it on her side, and I don't want it on my side.
Tell them I want
I got you covered over there.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Glad we got that clarified.
Yeah.
You got, well, I guess we're just gonna do one of these at a
Yeah,
time.
that one I just.
You-
Well, I never have, Juanita's gotta do that. I have hereunto set my hand and affixed the seal. Have you ever seen that? I guess that means you put it on the seal and.
Yeah. Well, I see where the seal goes.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Joe's everything running all right out there?
Yeah.
You getting ready to bid that track over?
I'm advertising in the paper, it should be in tomorrow maybe,
The
or whenever it comes
Metropolis,
out. Yeah, Metropolis Plan, Southern Scene. And, I've already sent the actual forms to the majority of the people around this area that is our reps.
Dealer,
Yeah,
yeah.
for each of the dealers, so
Okay.
if anybody else outside of that wants a form, they can call me and I'll send it to them, so.
All right, see if we get a motion to accept this resolution to, transfer $90,000 from county motor fuel tax fund to the county unit road district motor fuel tax fund, is that correct?
That's correct.
I do so move.
I'll second
All right, all agree, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Motion passed. Do I need to sign it, or is it just one me?
It's just
I got another question.
the clerk signs it, stamps
Do you
it,
image your
certifies that
stuff?
you voted on it.
Huh?
Nope.
The clerk signs and stamps it just to certify that the board voted on it.
Let me show you here.
4
Let me
copies.
see where. It's about right here. Let's see what we're doing here, starts with that X.
Yeah, I know where the transfer is. But thank you.
The second one, every year there's a resolution that's passed to appropriate funds for the county engineer's salary and expenses. If, to refresh your memory, the county engineer's salary,
Does that have to?
Doing that.
Oh, they're all the same.
Yeah, they're all the same, just copies. We keep one, and Joe would probably send one to the
I
state.
need to send 3 copies to the state
Okay.
of all of these, so I can make an extra copy for
I
you.
can go and make a copy.
And yeah. So
What's
I've
your
got,
salary?
I've got 4 copies of every one of these resolutions we were wanting to pass. I need 3 of them back to send to the state. I usually keep one in my file, and then if you wanna make an extra copy for yourself, that'd be great. Every year, to refresh your memory on the county engineer's salary, salary is basically the state recommended salary. Right now, since I was just hired, I'm not 100% of that. Per our agreement, we were stepping up every year up 1%, so this coming year I'll be to 97% of what was recommended there.
Okay.
And half of it, we usually pay half of it from the county motor fuel tax fund and half of it from our federal surface transportation funds. And this resolution authorizes half of my salary to be transferred from the federal allotment that we get for the surface transportation fund, so they can put that in our county motor fuel so that we can pay my salary. And it also obligates a dollar amount for expenses. The dollar amount is basically, this year is gonna be the same as last year that we allotted. And basically, this money is usually what we pay the county highway fund back with for the vehicle expense, mileage, and all that kind of stuff. And then if I have any travel expenses, like if I have to go up to county engineer meetings or anything of that nature, it's paid out of this. So this salary resolution is kind of an all-encompassing resolution. I'm just taking off the transmittal letters to IDOT, but this is the resolution.
Yeah, just show it to Gerald, and Gerald, and then I'll say it again.
Okay.
These see.
Joe, so basically, John Deere, Cat, Case, and Komatsu have been notified before in Paducah, or is there another one over there?
Case dealership is in Paducah, that's McKeel.
Yeah, Komatsu.
Komatsu's Roland up in Carterville or whatever that is,
Well, they have one there in Paducah also.
Brandeis.
They did bring that.
They were given one too, but I'm not, they've all got territories and
Okay.
to bid a new machine, they've got territories. Now Paducah could probably bid us a used one, but they probably
Yeah.
cannot a new one.
That's exactly right.
Same with Wayne Supply over in Paducah, they're Cat, but they can't bid us new ones, they can
That's right.
bid us used ones. And of course, Fabic is
Yeah.
is
Marion,
the Cat
Marion.
dealership up in Marion.
And then John Deere out
And
there.
then John Deere's Herb Equipment, yes.
Okay. I think that's all they had last time. I believe they had link belt, but I'm not sure how big it was. And I don't
Give that
know.
back to you
I
before
don't
we
know where
misplace
the
it.
dealer is.
I don't know either.
But is, Larry Gregson in developing a website now?
I think he's got him is he using .org, or do you know? Have you heard
I
him talk about it?
haven't heard of that. I knew he
I
was
think he has
trying
a
to get
website.
something.
He couldn't use .gov because that would have thrown him more work on your office.
Well, I mean, I seen where he's made an agreement with Metro Service, I think for $3,000 to develop a website. So
It could be. I know he has worked on it, but I don't know if it's up and running, I guess.
I'm good with that deal,
Yeah.
Jeff?
Good.
All right, I guess on this resolution, we're looking at $46,450 to be appropriated from the motor fuel tax funds at $46,414.50 from the county surface transportation program fund to pay for the salary of the county engineer, is that correct?
That's
In a sense, but I know there's more to it. Okay. If I can get a motion for that.
I do so move.
All right.
Second.
All right. All say aye and agree.
Aye.
Aye.
After doing all this, I figured I'd just wait and do the looking.
All right.
Make one trip.
The third resolution is a resolution to appropriate money for county highway maintenance from the motor fuel tax fund. Again, it's something that we do every year. This is what we do, like when we have to mow the rights of way, when we do other work along the rights of way that's authorized with county motor fuel funds, that's what we,
Bless you.
that's what we pay, we pay our salaries for that kind of thing. We also buy a small amount of oil and chip, because we still have a few small sections of road that we do some resealing on each and every summer that's county highways. And as well, we use a small amount of oil and chip to patch a lot of holes, potholes and everything else that comes in county highways. And that authorizes a small amount of money here to buy those materials with county motor fuel tax funds. The maintenance estimate here, for 2015, we're wanting to appropriate $120,000 for labor and equipment expenses, $25,006 for materials, for a total of $145,006. That's what the estimate of maintenance supports, what the resolution asks for. There's nothing that needs to be signed by anyone on estimate of maintenance. Is this, it needs to be
Just so
signed.
we're good.
If you wanna look at
The
them.
one in your right hand just supports what your left hand's telling you.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Look at that here or not.
Oh, I don't get it. I'm good.
I think it's got it under control. I'm gonna flip them back together like that, so they don't fly everywhere. How much does it cost to have a landline?
Oh, I say probably about
It's,
$60 a month.
It's about 75 just
Yeah.
starting out without anything.
Without any package or
Without
anything? I was gonna
using
say,
anything.
this says $29.12, $349 a month. Wonder if that's, do they do a bunch of, long distance calls, I guess, over there or something maybe? At the sheriff's office.
Oh, maybe, I don't
Geez,
know.
I don't know.
That sounds like a lot of money for a damn phone.
It does.
It is.
And I don't feel like we'd be, I mean, it's not that far behind her, they'd shut it off, wouldn't they?
Yeah, no, it can't be that far behind. I'm current except for last week, like I said, so. Well, I have somebody else doing that job now. so.
Yeah.
So on this here, we're taking $145,000 is appropriate to the motor fuel tax allotment for the maintenance of the county or state highways. So what,
It's county highway.
okay,
Yeah,
and a motion to accept that resolution.
Yeah, I made a motion.
All right, Gerald makes it. I'll second that motion. All agree, say aye.
Aye.
All right. So she'll just have to sign these 3 pages right here.
Yeah, there's 4 copies
Four,
of it, so.
okay.
Bottom one.
I'll go ahead and just give that back, see if you want it. She don't need that. Yeah.
All right, and then that's all the resolutions we have to pass. The only other thing I was gonna bring out is our estimate of maintenance costs for county unit road district. Same thing as this, it's just materials and labor, that we're estimating it's gonna cost us to maintain our unit roads. Basically, we're trying, and this supports what's in our budget, these numbers do. That's
Okay.
how we come up with the budget numbers is what's in here. We're estimating $300,000 for labor and equipment expenses. We're estimating $211,575 for materials. That's basically just oil and rock. And there's a facet to this of maintenance engineering. We get to reimburse county highway for my time in engineering this stuff. I don't get any of this money. This money just gets transferred from township motor fuel to county highway, so that way we can pay salaries and pay more bills.
Okay.
A lot of this is kind of a
Shifting the money.
shell game.
Yeah.
You know, you try to get money from here to there so we can afford everything and pay everything. So
Right.
the total on this, estimate of maintenance cost for the township, for the county unit road system is $532,038.
Now, how's that compared in years past? Is it? Do you know?
That's creeped up just slightly from last year. Last year, 67,000.
So it's about 40,000, 50,000 more. Is what it was, or what was the
It's
number?
about actually 65,000 more.
Okay.
And
So it's about what, 10, 11%? 12?
yeah, the actual increase, I mean, the budget actually shows, last year versus this year as to what the differences are.
Oh,
That's our estimated 2014, that's the budget for 2015. And we get every year they give us a special allotment, they called it this year the capital bill, it was $67,000 or something like that. It wasn't budgeted for this year because we're not sure if we get it from year to year, but since we got it this year, I put it in the budget to spend next year on the road.
Which you might mainly have it under the equipment rental went up 40,000, which is,
Yeah,
that's just a way for us to,
well, it's a way to get it to the county highway so that
Right.
we can pay bills.
because we're paying back from the equipment that we're using.
Yeah.
Right. Tires, okay.
So, I mean, from year to year, these things, if we don't keep getting these special allotments and we don't keep up the amount of revenues, the budgets could significantly change and these estimates could significantly change.
Right.
Every time we come in, we gotta move them all around.
Clearly
They've got
close
to
to the
move
same.
around on us.
And that wraps it up for me, other than getting everything signed and stamped.
Everything, equipment good, everything, no issues? Got plenty of salt, that's the big word in the paper I read all the time, do we have enough salt?
No,
That's-
we do not have in hand plenty of salt, but we have a contract to get it.
Okay.
I'm gonna give these to Lynn and she'll take care of this,
Okay.
if you want, cause you usually come over here anyway.
Yeah, I'll go over there and I'll,
Oh, well, you want to
I'll just
take
take it over
them?
there,
Okay,
yeah.
Uh,
thank you.
But what you're saying is,
we have, yeah, that's in the budget here for
Yeah.
for the county expenditure, we're budgeting, to buy 150 tons of salt, and that's what our contract is for. Of course, can't spend that money until 2015, so that's why I have
last
an
year,
ordinance.
there's no telling how much we used, because it was a pretty rough winter.
We went over budget last year, we probably used around almost 200 to 220 tons last year. I put in a good prayer so that we don't have to use that much this year.
Joe, did Bucky call you about that salt? Wilma?
He did, yeah.
I don't know what kind of deal that is.
Well, I don't know, I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be more expensive than what we're paying for the state contract, but I already told him, I said, look, I mean, we already are obligated to buy it through the state contract, we can't.
Right.
So if, the only way I would buy any from him is if we needed emergency salt or something
Okay.
like that, that we went over and couldn't get it from our other contract, so. But as tight as our budget is, we don't have a whole lot of money to spend on emergency salt either, so
Yeah.
we just kinda have to, everybody's just gonna have to.
Where is the state
Tough enough.
contract salt coming from?
The company that got it this year is North American Salt, and they ship to Cotter's down here, and we get it from Cotter's.
Okay.
Was it coming out of Nashville, or do you know?
I really don't know what their origin, I was thinking that it came out of Ohio somewhere, but I'm not 100% on that.
On barge?
Yeah, on a barge, gets shipped down to here. And a lot of the counties in our area didn't even get bids, nobody even bid on supplying to their counties. I think we got lucky because we have a portal so close.
Yeah.
And they figured they could bid it. It is a lot more expensive, I mean, last year we paid $55 a ton, this year it's almost 90,
Golly,
so, yeah,
what's the purpose of why is it went up so high?
because of the nationwide shortage.
Okay. Supply and demand, huh?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say lucky that it didn't go up more than that, but I think there's certain areas of the country where it went up 2.5 to 3 times. Ours didn't even quite go up 2 times, but
Mhm.
it's still, that's very expensive for salt, no matter how you look at it.
Well, we don't have another avenue
No,
as far as
Bucky's-
not using some other kind of material.
I'm pretty sure Bucky's price on the salt that he's supplying is gonna be $100 or more.
What, they quit, they used to get that, ash up there at Marion, have they quit that?
They have quit, yeah, I mean, they sell all of them cinders to a company that uses them for like roof shingles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there is not not a county in southern Illinois other than, Union County that has a source for cinders. There's some power plant over there in Union County that they get theirs from that's kind of a hush-hush deal. They don't wanna even disclose who it is, cause, I mean, it's an exclusive
They
thing.
move in on.
Right. Nobody else in southern Illinois, as far as the counties around here, have a source for them anymore. They were trying to work on a source of getting it from a power plant over near, Newburgh, Indiana. And that was gonna be very expensive. It was gonna be like $30 to $40, I think, a ton for
Yep.
cinders. But the EPA stopped them from even doing that, so I don't know of anyone in southern Illinois that has
Well,
a
the cinders wouldn't do what the salt will, they just give you traction and all, isn't it, or?
They do a little bit more than that because they're
They're
so
black.
black, they attract heat like crazy, and they do
Okay.
actually have some
Yeah.
melting
I
properties.
never thought about that, yeah.
But, other than that, yeah, they're just, we're trying, and I've gotta get back on that. I was trying to get a source of getting sand for free from Cook Coal.
Yeah.
They tentatively agreed to that, they just needed some, disclosures, or I can't remember the term I was using, basically a waiver that when we leave the place, we're not, if we get
It's
in a
your
wreck, or
problem,
if we
yeah.
dump sand everywhere that's not their sand, it's ours, it's our problem.
Yeah.
And they were supposed to send me an example of one so I could get it passed through you all and get it signed and get it back to them, but they haven't done that yet. I gotta call them again.
Last year, Joe, the, Cotter always had sand, city called him and said they was out of sand
Oh, this year they are?
last year.
Oh, wow.
Now, I don't know how ready they went with the sand, but that's what they said.
Well, their sand is higher quality, it's cleaner, isn't it?
Oh,
It's
well, that's
not,
what.
it's
that's
not
what-
like a sand you'd wanna use on a road.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. They called me and I called that guy down, he said, yeah, come get all you want, so I hauled there a couple of days. But it had rocks in it like this, after the snow melted, then all over town,
Or
they
gravel.
had sand and gravel. You know, and it wasn't really,
Well, streets, they ought to be able to recycle that, they got a street sweeper.
well, I'd say they did, because it's gone.
Does that give them a fit in their sewers? I mean, some of that sand's
I'd
got
say
in
it
the
probably
sewer.
does.
Yeah, it does.
But, you know,
That don't sound good.
I mean, most.
Even salt would be rough on the sewer.
The sewers that, are exclusively storm sewers, it's not as bad on, but the combination sewers here in downtown, boy, it is terrible on that.
Well, it's gotta give the sewer treatment plant, I mean, with the ones that are not separated,
Yeah.
it's all going to the plants, is it not?
Sewer plant, yeah.
I'll bet you that, steam plant, they were getting it, I think there's one at Anna, that, for that hospital,
That's probably where they get it from.
because I've heard guys that work up there, that plumbers and stuff at that power plant, that hospital. So I'll bet that's where they're getting it.
So, anyway, don't put that in the news.
No,
That's supposed to be a secret.
William, I'm running quiet.
Massac County takes action against Union County.
I was,
I told them not to do it now.
I was watching the news the other night, Channel 3, and they was interviewing IDOT District 9 main person, I forget who it was.
Miley.
Yeah, and there's a shortage of drivers for this time of the year. I thought they said like 1,000 people they needed.
And they sure had a lot of drivers out on the road last night.
I think he said they needed
Well,
maybe 1,000
You know, they did
drivers.
those snowbirds, I guess.
He said to work, because they were working 24 hours a day during that time. Golly, it's a lot.
Is, Donnie doing that already? I sat by him in the ballgame the other night, I didn't ask him.
He said he is, yeah,
Okay.
I don't know if he's actually been out on the road yet, but he said he got hired to do that, so.
Were you just on call, kinda?
Yeah, yeah, like last night when it's kind of a call for freezing rain and everything, they call people out and,
Do you just get to work in your region, or would he have to go?
I think he sticks to this region.
That's good.
You know, I don't.
What did you say, well, they paid $20 an hour?
Well, I don't know.
It told on that.
Oh, did it? I didn't catch that.
But I can't remember what,
Yeah.
20-something maybe.
But anyway, to answer your question before, everything's running okay. We've got, you know, normal problems. One of the radiators and everything blew up on one of our trucks here the other day, so we gotta get that fixed. Of course, the track hole deal, I mean, you know about that. I mean, that's for.
Yeah.
It's just ongoing.
Yeah, so it's, you know, normal things, but it's ongoing, you know, nothing, just real bad, I guess. Anyway, does anybody have any reports of anything that we need to take care of or anything this week?
No.
Oh, that pipe that you told me about last week, we sawed it off this morning, and then I think some of that water is draining out.
Oh, you mean out there by my house?
Yeah, I think it needs to be ditched a little bit too, though.
Maybe. I went by the next day, it looked like the water was almost gone.
Well, we did something this morning, to maybe help that
Oh,
out a little
that's
bit more.
Take a look at that, would you?
Would you ask me about
Should that come out of
airport
there,
road
or
last
should
week?
it come out of the corner?
Yeah.
But
I asked about
Or
that.
No,
corner
no,
and
no,
corner.
these are,
They said
these are-
it used to be state
yeah, the
maintained.
certified
years ago.
death record paper.
That's why that
They
Said
said
sign
we
was
have
up
the
there.
certified
I think it's,
death records on.
Danny McWaters, he said that hadn't been state maintained since he's been here, and he's been here the longest of anyone. He's been here like 26 years or something.
Yeah.
So it's been
Okay.
longer than that since it's been state maintained.
You used to have signs sitting right there when you pull in state maintenance,
Yeah.
and that's what I couldn't understand.
But as far as we've taken care of it for the last 25 years plus, so.
Well, I thought we had.
All right.
Thank you.
We're good.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you, Joe.
Okay, good.
The fun of every county board.
Yeah.
They just started a new group last night in Franklin County, and everybody got a 10-minute tutorial and review on, they had 2 new board members on how to do county claims.
Have they got 3 or 5?
They've got 9,
Holy moly.
3 per county board district, which is all townships.
That's right, yeah.
Everybody else I deal with is 3 at a time, and, of course, the new county clerk's first night, first meeting.
Yes.
At least you have a starting point, you've been there.
Yeah, yeah.
Go ahead and start anytime you want, Matt.
Take one, pass it around, or what's our plan here?
Take that one, pass
That one?
What she wants to put in the record. I believe I handed that out last time we weren't here.
Mhm.
So just kind of
The proposed budget.
yeah, summary of what we've done before. And then we talked about, oh yes, the January to December fiscal year. So from what we talked about last time, basically I did work it to the monthly amount, down at the bottom of the letter. And then, for 6 months it was at the top, and then that's based on doing that other amount next year and as many years beyond that as I can, with the intention of having, either one employee to work Johnson and Massac counties, although I think that salary level's a little high for that, or actually there's probably enough money to have 2 people, or at least a person and a half or something, supporting in these 2 counties along with the others that we have. I'll let you know also, I have, I think I mentioned it before, we're the fiscal agent for the 24 county homeless grant for all the other ROEs in our area. This ROE chose not to be a sub-grantee this time, so we are also, for this year, covering the 5 counties that are ROE 2 right now. I have 2 on staff that already help with that, but I have hired
year, because he knows the districts in the territory and can make visits and make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do. But that's, of course, that's outside of this. This is whatever grant-funded things I can do and get staff. That's what we try to do on most of the staff I have. And then we're trying to see and figure out what we're going to do about providing a safe school opportunity next year, both from what we get out of the Safe School Grant, which the state hasn't yet explained to us how that's going to work with the reshuffling, and then also it takes the general state aid claim for the students we have, and we're investigating if the claim is even being made by the ROE this year or not, because if they claim the students, then there ought to be a way to work out which of the counties they came from and carry that over to, as we figure this out next year. But we're not sure right now if the ROE is making the claim on those students or if it's the local districts where they farm them out. So we're in the midst of investigating that right now.
So the way I understand it, for January through December this year, you're asking for $14,919.
And basically that's for July through
Right.
December, right?
And then from,
Of 15.
15, yes.
and then starting in 16's year budget, you're asking for $29,838.
Yes.
Same math either way, correct?
Yes. Would be the only thing that would affect that at all would be, depending on what insurance or something would be,
Yeah.
but I try like heck to hold those rates, and I don't plan to go anywhere with those salary lines for a couple of years. In fact, we've, even for the grant positions and the teaching positions and everything else, I've frozen. Boy, I may have been frozen for the 8 years I've been in. Because we'll think we're okay and do one, and it's like, yeah, better be careful, so. And the employees in the ROE aren't in the bargaining unit or anything either.
First Tuesday of the month.
Oh, yeah,
10 o'clock.
that one works. Takes a few years to get past the real one, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's what, emergency planning meetings in Williamson County, of course, for most of the adults in the room, they still remember the storm from a few years ago.
The May storm, like 2 or 3 years ago?
The
What?
great show.
That was a pretty rough one.
Yeah, I was holding our alternative school door open as I was watching the tree fall in front. It wasn't the best place to be standing, in front of the glass door. But then amazingly, we're 6 years past, as we were talking, a lot of the administrative faces have already changed around the table, and it's like, you still gotta remember, I think that's when they discovered that the new Carterville school didn't have battery backup on all of the automated lighting fixtures.
They didn't come on, huh? It got dark.
No, and so they had 600 nervous K through
Little ones, huh?
fourth grade, besides the adults, with nothing that would flush. So if you're ever building, make sure you have a battery backup if you go all automated, or do one regular fixture. But as we talked about, 3 of the storms there through the years, the 82 tornado, which thankfully was on a Saturday, microburst in the 90s. The tornado went through a school. The microburst took off the high school gym at Marion that time. And this one, we were darn lucky, but we were all in the school. I know you guys have reported been in, well, the school would have been affected. I don't know if everybody would have been home, but
What time was that? Was it 5-ish when Brookport got hit?
Yeah.
Two.
something like that.
Yeah,
After, in the afternoon.
it was afternoon, I know.
Yeah, I remember, I was here.
I was headed to my nephew's birthday party in St. Louis, so we drove through and got just past before the one when they crossed the interstate around Oakville and hit and then ended it up that way.
Got any thoughts?
No, I was just looking at what we used to, with the former, you know, like what the price, what it was before. Just looking
Did
at-
you guys receive a copy of the proposal that she gave her superintendents on how they're going to spend out the 1.6 million between now and June?
Mhm.
Okay, I didn't bring that copy with me, but I can even forward the email to you. And the state board is aware of that. I guess it's the undesignated money. It's been on the schools. I know it's got like a large amount for paper. The ROE is paying for the school district's audits this year and next. Then some other programs. Coats for Kids, which is a private thing. Egyptian Building Trades raises the money. We're the fiscal agent for the 4 ROEs to participate. Whatever money's raised, then we figure out how to allot it per ROE. That's about 5,000 per right now. I think they've designated another 8,000 out of their funds to support those kids, which hard to argue with things like that, but those are things involved too. And again, we just don't know.
Trash? Trash section. Sorry.
It's okay.
Hey, we do it all here.
Old timer.
Clean the bathroom here in a minute.
It's in there. Do they let you wear the keys on the chain?
He normally got chains between his ankles.
That was my dream in kindergarten, and I did when I cleaned for Tip, Illinois, and even the place down here, I got to wear the keys on the chain, so. The only thing I haven't done yet in a school is I have not driven a school bus, but I've done summer maintenance, I've swept the floor, coached, kept score, clerk track, all, home ec, substituting. I finished
Hasn't
it.
the character been schooled in the school bus maintenance and all?
He has, and that's an option. We provide bus driver training right now. That we hold up there, I have somebody doing it, but not gonna have people driving that far a year from now when we do that, so I'm gonna have need somebody that, knows what they're doing that can offer it down here. Kind of things we're looking for, to find people who know what they're doing and know the territory.
Steve's a good man.
And he's enthusiastic about it.
Yeah. Got plenty of energy.
Yeah. Yes, he does. But we want, and we're wanting to make sure, going forward, of course, your funding, and we've been successful getting homeless grant funding, is based on your numbers from the year before, so making sure kids are identified.
Right.
And get that flowing. Next year, I would imagine, and I would expect, as we sub-grant again, our ROE will handle the 4 counties, and the other 3 counties will be part of Jackson Perry's sub-grant. But for this year, the transition and the way it fell out, just figured we would cover it for now. We've had the trainings, we've held the trainings for the schools down here. We've got another training coming in the spring where we'll talk with everybody, but we're really hoping to bring the clerical staff in, because that's who, of course, most days is who knows what kids wander in and are in need and enroll them. So, that's part of our spring plan.
appreciate it, Matt. Anything else?
All I'm thinking of for right now.
All right.
Again, if you've had any questions, give me a holler.
If you send us that email, yeah, I think you have my address, I forwarded it to Jeff and Gerald.
Okay, will do, yeah, I've got that.
You said, what, 1.3, 1.6
1.6.
million?
Yep.
Sounds good.
And so you can see that part of that picture, so.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Thank you,
When do
Matt.
you guys meet again?
Every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday. Okay.
Thank you. Have a safe trip.